Hello people, this is Marcello Davini, and in this video I'm going to show you how I process all my videos from when I come from the airplane with all my cameras and files to my delivery to YouTube. I use Davinci Resolve. You will see here my workflow. I'm not 100% using the capabilities of this amazing software, but I believe it has a flexibility, a potential that is incredible. I'm learning more and more every day. I used to use Movavi video editor and I still have the license, but I switched to Davinci Resolve around a year and a half ago, and I'm using the paid version. The paid version is about $300 and you pay it once and is licensed for life. You have updates and all the things you need in Davinci Resolve evolving continuously for free. But I believe that everything I'm touching in this video works also in the free version. If it doesn't, let me know. And I still use Movavi screen recorder, which I'm using right now for the laptop recording. I use two screens, and later I'm going to show you how you put in two screens many items and have your timeline only in front of you here to work. Even before I go into Davinci Resolve, I first transfer all my footage from the cameras to the computer. Say I have all the titles here, all the folders, and I'm gonna focus now with a flight that I did to Tacoma Narrows the day before. I planned with 4 flights. In this video, I'm gonna use pre-flights. So I have all this footage, the me talking, and then the screen recording. So returning to the headset, use the software wants you to tell it where you want the output sound. So to do that, you go to Davinci Resolve and go to Preferences, Video and Audio Input Output, and go to here Output Device and Device Speakers. But I want to use my Bose, and I plug the plug here and speakers and headphones here, see, and then save. Now let's talk about the media beans. So I transfer all my files as I need them on my timeline directly, but if you want to be organized, you can drag and drop the whole thing to your master, under your master, all the folder. And also let's talk about the settings. I say, for example, I use this file here. I have all the links to all the things that I use, the arrows, whatever, and some settings, and you can drop these directly under your main bean. And these are effects. Let's say, for example, zoom in and out, titles, I have some preset text boxes, thumbnails, I have some faces. I use very often this arrow here, so I don't have to go find them in the computer. Some airport plates and sounds like the camera shooter and the beeps or whatever, and the subscribe button here with the green screen in the back that I have to adjust. And so this follows me everywhere I go, meaning every project I start. You can even start double clicking here. If you double click here, it creates a new project with all this information. Remember that if you want to make this preset follow you in all the projects, you don't have to move them from your computer. If you move them from your computer, you will find something like here. Davinci is going to give you this media no presence. If you want to export new elements to a new file that is going to follow you in all the projects, if you want to do that, choose the bean that contains all the beans here, and you can go to File, Export Bean, and you can put whatever other name and save. And you can also rename these. For example, if I want to rename this element, I can do that. So if you want to work multiple screens, you can do it. It's better. You have whole thing in one screen and then the preview and all the other elements in another one. So you can go to workspace and go to dual screen on. Okay, so here you have the second screen and the preview here, but you want this clean, the timeline only that. And go to dual screen again, full screen timeline. So you have now the preview there, you have all these effects and video transcription and whatever. And you go to shift and you can make them larger, and you can go also flexible, move bigger, so you have multiple tracks. So you have more room. So you have the inspector tab here next to it. If I use multiple cameras, which I do all the time, I drop the whole thing here. And for this purpose, I'm gonna use the double screen to make sure that I have more room here to do that work. So I drop also the flight footage, and I drop also the recording. Since I want to do one at a time, I'm going to move the screen recording outside my work. I can go ahead and do here. So when I start talking in one, I make a marker.
Okay, hello people. Okay, hello.
So I synchronize this.
Okay, hello people. This is Marcel.
I like the recording that I did with the iPad, for example, better than this one. Say, for example, if I play solo the first,
okay, hello,
and I want to play solo now the next one.
Okay, hello people, this is
It's dirty, but I can go ahead and lower the AI voice isolation there.
Hello people, this is Marcel and I'm here.
So what I do is I will disable that. So now I'm going to explore the screen recording. And obviously the screen recording audio is very bad, so I will suppress that. So see, I found here where it ends, and then if I go here,
and this is Marcel again, and talk to you soon. Bye.
Okay, talk to you soon. Bye. I move this here. So the thing is, some people do all this process in the media bins here. They can synchronize all this video here, but I do manually because I save a lot of time, because I do it before even start working and chopping and color grading. I have all here. So it's not exactly perfect, but if I could hear more this, say for example, if I put more volume on this bad one,
Watching, and this is Marcel again, and talk to you soon.
Good enough. The audio, only the good one, the iPad works. It's all synchronized now. It takes a little bit of work, I mean, realizing where the waves are and put them together manually. If you want to keep these without touching, because you may be cropping and move this situation, you can create a parallel timeline. So you go here, duplicate timeline, and this timeline is a copy, and you can rename this raw footage. So it's a backup. So if you're going to show all the timelines on top of your timeline display, you can go to this icon here and display stacked timelines. And you can see here, so you can add also timelines close to it. Say for example, you add timeline and in this lower raw footage, and it's going to show both. But you want that, you just close this for now. You don't want that for now. You want just only one to do this work. This is useful when you have one timeline and then you cut and move down whatever you want, create a second timeline of a shorter version or a short, because the timeline could be also set as a vertical version of videos that you want to produce. So the timeline one is the one that I'm using right now. So before we start cutting and chopping the things we don't want, I start, say for example here, this is me talking, right? Probably there's too much light here. So if I go to color, shade, color boost a little bit, and highlights, a little bit more contrast. And I go back to editing. So now I start cut. This is the fun part.
Okay, hello people, this is Marcel.
So you want to cut here, choose, and then number 3. It's all highlighted in the left. So the video start here. Okay, now here is the end. I can cut this and highlight the whole thing, and 3. So I have a few shortcuts. Okay, how do you do this? So you go to Davinci Resolve and then keyboard customization. And I have number 2 is timeline split clips. So you look for split clip and is assigned to Control 2 or number 2. And the 3 is delete selected keyframe. So ripple delete. So the repo deletes del or number 3. So since I selecting and then I number 2 to cut and number 3 to delete the selected in my left, so the whole section moves to the left and closes all the gaps. Then subtitles, you can go to timeline, go to AI tools and create subtitles from audio. And then also language, can leave auto, enable extended language support. I want that because AI helps to assist the creation of the subtitles. So I usually I do less, like 20, 18, because I like to put in one side, for example, who is talking in the video, and then the other side, the voiceover with different subtitle settings, different color, different shape, if I want. So create, and it creates subtitles. Initialize it. Let's see how it goes. And if you have music, if it has vocals, it takes also that in the subtitles. So you better do the subtitles before you put the music. You can modify them later, but it's less work you have afterwards. So it's finished now, and you can see here all the bubbles. You can set the track to whatever position you want, how big you want it. You can also move these to the side. I usually put a background. I want the edges to be rounded. Opacity, I want them slightly seen. If you want to drop shadow, you can change color too. You can put the letters different colors. I prefer very light, very white, or maybe blue like this. I used to use this kind sometimes, but the white, it works perfect for everything because it pops up very easy. Oh, the thing I want to tell you. See how it works now?
From an arrow.
See how it's working?
If I need to change plans because of weather.
So this is in editing, sometimes does it because it's all messed up. So to fix that, I found very useful to go to delivery page and put a name, subtitle, whatever, and render. If you do this process, the thing reorganizes, and then when it's finished, you can continue working. So subtitles can clearly give better engagement to your videos. If you want to have more than one subtitle, you can also, you want your voiceover in one side and you want the people talking the video in the other side, and you can create a different one, a subtitle track. And the only thing that Davinci doesn't burn into the video both subtitles at the same time. So if you want to do both, so you can do it by, you have these subtitles working, and then you create a MP4, I mean, you deliver this video with this subtitle, and then you drop the MP4 in a track on top of this add track. You drop it here in the top, and then you play the whole thing with the other subtitle activated, and then you will have both subtitles in the same video burn into the video if you want to burn it into the video. So now the music, I use Epidemic Sound. Epidemic Sound has an extension. I go workflow here, Epidemic Sound, and it's an extension that allows me to directly find songs here, say for example jazz, pop, whatever, but I mean I use moods mostly. So you can find here search and enthusiastic and enthusiastic, say for example you want this. This is not my genre, but I mean this is, say for example you want this song, you download and then you move the whole thing here. Say for example this is a section, and probably this song is going to be part of your project but not for the whole thing, and you can choose more than one song. So it says not free, but since I use songs on all my videos, I mean I don't have to think about looking for free stuff. Then the delivery, you go to custom, export, idle. I deliver to always one folder, and from there I upload to YouTube. And the only thing I want to tell you that you can export subtitles by as a separate file, like an SRT, as embedded captions burn into video, then add to queue, and then you render. When you render, it starts working. I think we're done here, but you want to do something more. From here, you have two timelines, raw footage, still untouched. if I go to timeline 1, has all the modifications that I've done so far. And I can go ahead and I can duplicate timeline. And this timeline could be for vertical short, say, for example, right? And then I can duplicate again, and this timeline could be for Frankensteining, for example. I put this because that timeline is going to be the one that I can crop whatever I want to make a shorter version of the same whole video. And I don't want to modify the original timeline, and I work only with this. Say, for example, I did some video with only my panel flying and me in the side, and then the same version of the video I use me flying, and then in the small portion or once in a while when I have operations doing in the panel, I show that occasionally, so I can do a lot of different variants of the same project. So that's very important. So this is my workflow, and keeps things efficient, creative, and I believe that it keeps me focus on what I'm doing, and it's just room for improvement continuously. And if you have questions or whatever suggestion, if you say, hey, I can do this better than you, please write it to me. And the best part, you never stop learning and evolving. And until the next time, my friend, blue skies to you. Thank you for listening.